This episode of Tea with Jules is proudly brought to you by The Home. You can shop any of the items you see in this episode at thehome.com.au. Natalie Bassingthwaighte. Did I say it right?
Nailed it.
Thanks for coming.
I've been excited. I've missed you.
I know. And you've got a little bit of a cold like me, so
know.
Feel free to snort away.
Probably will, don't worry. Tissues, anyway.
No, thank you for coming. I'm very excited to have you on Tea with Jules.
Yay.
I feel like I've known you since forever. Okay, you're not going to remember because I was a wee thing at the time. This is when I was an assistant stylist, so assisting the boss, the stylist, on one of your Rogue Trader videos.
Stop.
Yeah.
Which one?
Don't you wanna be? I don't know how to.
Don't you wanna be what I wanna be, baby? La, la,
That
la,
one.
la, la. Oh wow, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't remember that, but I knew that I knew you before. Well, probably didn't know you, but knew of you.
I remember the debacle between, because you wore like a nurse's outfit, and I remember the really big decision about the shoes.
Oh.
We went with these like silver stiletto, really high.
Wow,
shoes.
debacle.
It was a bit of
the
a
problems
debacle,
you have back in the day.
right?
Yeah.
It's really, it means a lot.
Totally.
But anyway, you looked great.
Thanks to you.
No, it wasn't me. I just helped you put your shoes on.
Well,
Yeah. And you know
apparently
what?
they looked good.
It was a closed set that day because
what did I have to do?
Well, you had to like fly. You were flying on these cord things across set.
I seriously forget most things that happened
and
before yesterday.
because it was like a high risk sort of situation. It was just the important people were allowed on set. So don't mind me. I was just in the wardrobe. Yeah.
Look at you now.
But Nat, wow, you're killing it. You are killing it in life. You're everything. You've done everything.
Aw.
You've been everywhere. You're an actress. You're a singer. You're an entertainer.
I'm exhausted.
You're exhausted.
Just hearing it.
You're a presenter. You're a designer now. You really do it all. And you're this beautiful and this lovely.
I'm staying. I'm going to stay the whole day.
Good, great. Now, this is Tea with Jules Nat, so
Yeah,
I need to ask you firstly, are you a tea drinker?
I am. Yep. I've just started to kind of get into all my cleansing teas.
We've got herbal tea here today, so please
Take a
feel free
sip.
to drink the drink. Yeah, I'm gonna have some
let's do
now.
one.
Okay, cheers.
Cheers.
to us.
These are great cups.
So, take me back, Nat, before
gosh.
all of this began.
Do you know what? Like, looking back, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was one of these kids that tried everything, like brownies and physical culture and ballroom dancing. I only did that because he won chocolate at the end of the ballroom dance bit. But I just kept trying stuff. My mum would buy me the outfit. I'd go for 2 weeks and then say, I'm not really into it. And it was a little show called Young Talent Time that made me I was like obsessed, as most people were back in the day. And I just felt like I wanted to be that person. But I grew up in Wollongong, which is not a small town, but back then it felt like a small town, and that was out of reach. Like, how do you get on television? How do you sing and dance? How do you kind of do that whole entertainment thing? So I eventually, I joined a dance school. I started acting and singing and dancing and doing competitions and Stedfords and musicals and things like that. Yeah, it just felt really comfortable, like that was what I wanted to do. But I still at that age didn't really know, like, how do you achieve that? I mean, ultimately, I figured out, you've got to get an agent and all of those sorts of things. And I think my biggest break was in Rent, the musical. 22 of us were cast and I was understudy to the lead and got to go on a million times, and it was great. It was like, okay, I get it. This is awesome.
You got your foot in the door, but getting your foot in the door is very different to being an established person and doing it as your job. You get a chance and an opportunity, and then you have to make that the thing that propels you forward.
Yeah.
Did you realise that at the time?
It was hard. Like, even for a couple of years before that, I was auditioning and I didn't really know how to audition. That's a skill in itself. Like, you can be a great singer or a great actor or whatever, but in that space, it's so overwhelming. I remember just, like, you walk into the space and there's like a panel of like 6 people and they're like, hi, and you go, hello, stand on your spot and you're petrified, you just, it's a bit like, X Factor or Idol, like, it's really nerve-wracking. Obviously with those shows, millions of people are watching at home, but it still has that overwhelming feeling of you're not really sure what it is you need to do. And Rent was the turning point for me because my best friend said to me, I've just seen this show on Broadway and I feel like you are this role, Maureen, like you have to go for this role. I ultimately realised after he gave me all the music and the script for Rent, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. So I went to find out every single thing about the show, like who directed it, who produced it, what have they done before, who got cast and why did they get cast. And so I felt like for the first time I was immersed into why I wasn't just going for a job to get a job.
Right.
I was like, I've got to play this role. Like I really, this is my show, you know? And I felt like that's what made the complete difference.
Did you feel like that was it? You felt like, hey, my life has been altered. This is it now. This is my journey.
Yeah, it was so overwhelming. It was such an amazing time. It was very spiritual and emotional. Like, you know, we all came from different parts of the country because they wanted to do this audition that was very ground roots. So they didn't necessarily want musical theatre singers. They got guys in bands and they just wanted it to be really authentic. And yeah, we became like a really big family.
And so from there you went on to more acting?
Did a few more shows. I did Chicago, the musical, Footloose, cool. Grease, played Sandy in Grease.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Twice, once with John Farnham.
John Farnham.
Oh, I know!
Singing with John Farnham, that's terrifying.
Yes, but I don't know, like he's just has the biggest heart and the biggest voice, obviously the most extraordinary voice, and it just felt like surreal to be on stage in an entertainment centre in the Cadillac or whatever at the end, and he's behind me and we're like singing to one another going, is this like really happening?
That's so cool. That's the great thing about theatre and musical theatre is it does become a family, hey?
You get very close and then you kind of have to say goodbye. It's quite difficult.
Yeah. It is a bit of a tough life, the entertainment industry life.
Yeah.
It is those kind of closed chapters all the time.
Well, the ins and outs of it too, like sometimes you get a job and then like in between those jobs I'd be waiting tables and things like that and, you know, going, what direction did I really want to take?
Yeah, I often think about that because I think, you know, freelance or anyone in that sort of industry, it's always those down times where you're in between work that you start, all that self-doubt comes in where you're like, everyone's forgotten about me, I will never work again, that was my last job. What's my next career path going to be now? Did you or do you experience those moments where you think,
my gosh, yeah, all the time. Felt like that on and off over the years, even when I'm in a job, you know, and I'm very present in a job, and especially with social media and things like that, if one person says something negative, even though 100 have said something amazing, you feel that's the only one that counts and they're the only ones that know what they're talking about and everyone else just doesn't mean anything.
I know. Isn't that terrible that we think that and we give power to that?
But getting better at it though.
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think, I mean, you've done this for a number of years and you've been in the public eye for such a long time. Yeah. Do you think it gets easier?
Yeah, totally. I think it was the first year of, I mean, when I, you know, did Neighbours and I played such a nasty character, I would get stuff all the time, but at that time I thought it was quite funny and didn't really have social media back then as much, so it didn't really kind of affect me. It was down the street, someone would be like, I hate you, and I throw things at the TV, and I'm like, ooh, okay, wow. That's weird. But then when I did X Factor for the first year, I found it very uncomfortable and really overbearing. I almost didn't want to do any more series after that.
Because of the comments that you were receiving.
Just was like, this is not me, I just can't deal with this. Why would people say things like this? Why are people so nasty? And even though I'm a grown woman, I just like, imagine kids these days, like how they handle it. Like I couldn't handle it. Yeah. But in the end, I felt like I needed to rise above it and I needed to get through it and know that whoever's writing those things, they can't give, you know, I can't give that any weight. It's just one person, two people saying whatever they want to say, probably sitting, I mean, who has the time to write things negative in their life?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
Yeah.
But also being, I mean, you've hosted So You Think You Can Dance Australia. Yeah. And then you went on to be the judge on the X Factor and then in Australia and then in New Zealand, which was like a whole other story. Yeah. But being, I mean, Guy's my husband, obviously. Like he
is he?
Who is he? I think him coming home from a big long day of filming, where he's had to say no to people, and it's saying no to people's dreams and what they want. And you've been in that position on the other side where you've been auditioning and you've had to feel the rejection. How do you feel about that side of things?
It's definitely difficult to feel like you're crushing someone's dreams, but all I would say to them is that each of these moments are a moment, and it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be doing this forever. Like, I've had countless no's, but it doesn't mean that I haven't been successful eventually or, you know, taken a different path. You learn from it, you grow from it, you move forward, you keep on going, and you don't give up. Otherwise you give up and it's all over.
Just got to
keep on going. Keep on keeping on.
Keep on swimming. And so, in amongst all of those things, well, before that, you were in Rogue Traders. You were the lead girl in the band. I loved the Rogue Traders.
Thank you.
That voodoo child song.
Yeah.
It just blew up. And that was your first
It was the first single. Yeah. I mean, we went to number 3 in the UK, which was crazy. We got to tour around with Girls Aloud. It's so funny thinking back to all these things. I'm like, is that me? Surely that's someone else. But it was such a great time, like, to really be able to, you know, to be that performer from a very young age and to know that that's, you know, in there, and to be able to express that live on stage, there's sort of no other feeling than that.
Being an actress, do you feel like you maybe go into that zone of like, okay,
there's a character going on for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not like this now in the lounge room. And even more so recently, because we've reformed to do some gigs.
Yes.
So when was it? Oh, last year it was our 10th anniversary since Voodoo Child came out. And James was like, do you guys want to do some gigs? And we were like, I don't know, will anyone care? Like, maybe, sure, okay. You know, we did this amazing New Year's Eve gig at a winery in Melbourne, and we did the Grand Prix, and a few gigs coming up now. So, I mean, it has to suit, because we've all got kids now, and we've all got different jobs, so it has to suit our lives as a whole. So if it's the right gig and the right time when we're all available, we like, But then, when I did the Grand Prix, I was like, I had the most fun. I always felt like I was so in my element, jumping around that stage like I was 20-something. But totally, I felt like I just chucked on this little character, and I was like out and off, ready to go. Watching everyone just sing, like the mat, and like, it was awesome. And we had like a crew of people who used to follow us around the country and tour with us, like fans. They were there in the front row, and then all of these other people still singing along.
That's
it was
amazing.
Really cool.
That's so cool when you can revisit it and it's still very much alive. I mean, you wear so many different hats, not only in your career, but also as a human being.
Yeah.
Which one resonates with you, let's say career-wise? Which one do you feel most aligned with?
I'm very mood orientated, so it depends what phase I'm in my life. You know, now that I have kids, that's different as well. There was a time where there was nothing like being on stage, and that's still a definite. Like, it's such a buzz to be on stage and have an audience kind of and feed off that. But the last 2 years have been very trying for me in like my personal life, so it's been very difficult to kind of find my thing again, and I fell in love with acting again.
And you did say you've had a troubled kind of couple of years when you lost your beautiful, amazing manager who we knew and loved and did an amazing job with everyone he was managing. And when that's your person, your everyday, knows everything about you, everything about everything, it is the hardest thing in the world to lose someone so close.
Yeah.
Are you okay? And how are you doing, for one?
I am okay, but at the time, like, you know, he was like my father, like my brother, like
everything.
You know.
It's okay.
So, yeah, it was pretty difficult.
I lost my brother. Now I'm going to cry. It is the hardest thing in the whole world to have to deal with. It is something you never get over, but you have to.
Yeah.
Like, dealing with grief, my kind of attitude was, okay, it's the saddest I've ever felt. I'm going to feel the feelings. And whenever I feel the feelings, I'm going to feel the feelings. Exactly like right now.
Yeah.
I think that's my way of getting through
have to.
it.
I'm very good at, though, like, if there's like a big drama and then going, oh, that never happened.
Well,
and 16 years, we were together 16 years. So I say we were together like we was like my boyfriend. But
but it is like
but
that.
it was like that. Yeah.
So you've had a rough couple of years.
Yeah. But as a parent, like, you have to try and, like, okay, You know, you don't want them to see you so traumatized, but at the same time, I feel it's really important for them to see you being very honest and real and not going into a corner and hiding every inch of your feelings, you know.
That's true, because we are their little beacons.
How we respond is very reflective on who they become, I think.
How has becoming a mother changed you?
Everything.
I didn't want to say everything.
Oh my gosh, so much. I mean, I knew I had to have kids. Like, it was something that I've always wanted. Having a successful career and going, when's the right time, was always like, oh, you know, weighed in the back of my mind.
How did you make that decision? What were the things that kind of pushed you over the line?
Well, age, probably, for one. But I was in LA, which I'd been to LA a number of times, and, you know, the first time I was there, and then I got offered a job back, and I came straight back, and then I went back over again, and then I got offered a job, and I came straight back, and I was like, oh, I really want to have a go at this acting thing, you know, like a proper red hot go. I did a few auditions. I found it really soul destroying. I loved, like, I went and did some classes, and I loved that. Like, I've always loved to learn, so the workshops and things I just found so much joy in, but the actual, like, all of a sudden I realised, you know, I'd had success here, but going to another territory, you're like one of thousands, and you walk into a room and there's like, it's very stereotypical, so like there's 30 girls who all have the same length blonde hair, you know, and you're like, oh, so they can't even think outside. I'm so surprised, like, you're an actor, what does it matter if you've got blonde hair or brown hair? Isn't it how you act?
Right.
Anyway, so I just was like, I don't know if this is for, like, this is not for me. Like, I'm not sure. And I was looking at I don't know if he was my husband then, but we were like, are we going to have, we want to have children, right? And we just made the conscious decision of coming home and starting a family, and it like literally happened like that. Right. So we were one of the lucky ones, although it was like, whoa, okay, be careful what you wish for.
Yep. So you have two beautiful babies, Harper and Hendrix.
Yep.
Such cute names.
Thank you.
A little girl and a little boy. And Cam is your husband, who was in the is in the Road Traders with you.
We're back.
The drummer. Who doesn't want to marry a drummer?
I never thought I'd be married to a drummer, just saying, but I am, and that's good.
He's awesome.
He keeps good time.
Great.
On many levels. Too much comments. Yeah, that's shut. Okay. Cup of tea.
And I mean, we've talked about Cam in depth because whenever I'm with another mum, I want to know everything. I want to know how they live their life. I want to know how they get through, especially if they're a working mum. So we've had some good chats about you and how you guys do it, and you're such a team, and I love that. Cam is like so hands-on. When you're working, he's there, and vice versa. So you really tag team it up. And
I couldn't do it without him, honestly. Like, everyone's like, you're such a superwoman, yes, and I'm like, no, my husband's like like, he's the one that holds us all together. It's just like both of us get up in the morning and we both go, and what are you doing tomorrow? I've got this, I'm in Sydney, right, I'll have the kids, let's call someone to babysit, I'm going, you know, and it's like that.
Now, in amongst all of that, you're like, okay, now I'm just gonna start a kids fashion line as well.
What was I thinking?
Which is, by the way, amazing.
Thank you.
When I heard that you were doing that, I was like, great, this is going to be awesome. And then when I saw it, I was blown away at actually how great it was.
Yeah.
Cheeky is the name of it.
Yeah.
It's all monochrome, which is my favourite.
Yeah, me
Blacks,
too.
whites, greys.
A little bit of orange today.
A little bit of orange. It's all kind of, you can dress the girls and the boys in the same things. It's so great. And my kids wear it and I love it. And it's great quality. I can't say enough good things, honestly.
You know, when you have kids, your whole world becomes about them, and they both had sensitive skin. And I had them in like these bamboo sheets, and I was like, these sheets are so beautiful, like the fabric's so beautiful. And then my daughter would be like, this is so itchy, I hate this dress, like whatever. And then I was like, where's all this stuff made from this fabric that is cool? I mean, I did a bit of research, and a lot of it was very like neutral kind of beige, and I was like, oh, there's no like prints, there's nothing edgy. And so that was part of it, but the other part, which is an equal part, was I just wanted to see what I could do on my own, you know, without a manager, I just wanted to feel empowered and to see if I could
do something.
Do it, because when you have someone in your life for 16 years, you're like, I don't know if I can do anything on my own. But I just started doing a lot of research, reading. I would ask anyone I could, like the Style Runner girls. I was just, met them and I sat down with them and said, how do you like to have an online business? Initially, I was thinking about going into stores, and then people were just giving me advice left, right and centre. I took the parts that I felt were really right for me. I came up with a name. I read that you had to trademark your name, and everything I read was like, okay, do this. I'm like, okay, I'll do that. So I got it designed and I trademarked the name, and then I changed my mind on the name. So then that was a waste of money. I was like, how do I build a website? Okay, like everything I had never done before, and just, it's been a ride.
Do you feel like it's been well received?
The reception for everything Cheeky has kind of blown my mind. I sent Kate Blanchett some stuff, and she wrote me a letter, like a handwritten note from Kate Blanchett saying, this clothes are so beautiful, when are you going up in sizes? And a few months later, bought some stuff, more stuff. That's the weird thing, because I get given lots of gifts and stuff, and sometimes you're like, wow, there's so much stuff. Imagine the likes of a Rachel Zoe or the Kardashians or Jessica Alba. Like, I think, how much stuff would they get? And they've all had our clothes on. They've been photographed in our clothes. So I'm like, oh, so they've got it. They opened it, they liked it, they've worn it, and they've been photographed,
That's massive.
Yeah, it's just been a nice journey.
Because
I said the word journey.
Journey.
Take me back.
I was watching that Vogue 72 questions or whatever, Anna Wintour.
Oh, yes.
They did her, and they said, what's your least favourite word?
Journey.
And she goes, journey.
Oh,
I was
journey.
like, every time I say it now, I'm like,
I'm going to say it like that next time. Journey.
Journey.
Yeah.
But I think that's a really, really smart business move when you have a product to not keep it close to your chest.
Yeah, like you never know. You never know if they're going to love it or wear it. But not only that, like we're only online at the moment, and then we started wholesaling like a month ago or something. It's happened so quickly because we've only been online for like 15 months.
Wow.
And then started wholesaling. So we have stockists across Australia. We have like North Carolina, Canada, Norway, like China. Like it's grown really fast.
Well done.
Yeah.
It's so great. I love seeing girls doing great things.
Yes.
It's awesome.
I think my daughter thinks I'm a designer, and that because she wasn't really around when I sang, or she was, but she was like a baby. So if anyone asked her what I do, she'd probably say designer. Like I showed her a video clip the other day, and she was like, what? Like, who's that? She just was kind of like, who are you? Like, what's that?
Yeah. Do you sometimes feel like that? That's like a whole
totally. I
different
feel like that's a
person.
different person.
Yeah.
Except when I went to the Grand Prix and I just like slotted straight
Yeah,
back in,
you're
and
like,
I'm like, that's me. Woo! Yeah. One night only. Yeah.
It's good that you can slip back in, but you've got something solid now.
It's still a lot of work though. Like I don't want anyone to have this misconception like, oh, it's all rosy, and it's so much work, and it's more work than most things I've ever done in my life, because it's your money, it's your business. A lot of people, you can put your face to a brand, which is fine, but this is like our money.
To make sure
we're there 24 hours a day. Like I want it. Yeah. So it is a lot harder than I thought it would be to kind of keep it at a certain level. But now we've taken on a couple of business partners, and to kind of be able to go, oh, thank goodness I don't have to run the business. You can do that. I'm just creative director now. So, it's a lighter load, and I get to do the things that I love, as opposed to, wow, starting a business. That's right. You have to run the business as well.
I know.
You can't just be the creative. What was I thinking?
And you're the everything. You are the receptionist.
Oh my gosh.
You do the coffee run.
Oh, honey,
you're
one
the
time I rang someone and I was like, hello, it's Shelley from Cheeky. How are you? So I just need to take your order, because I'd had like this drama go on. I was like, my husband's like, you can't ring someone. Like, they can know it's you. And I was like, they're not going to know it's me. Why won't they know it's me? It was great. I felt like Shelley, the receptionist.
And all those years of acting, it came into handy. That
was a funny
So
day.
great. Well, speaking of the Mum Club,
we're
going to be doing something together.
I know.
One Fine Baby Expo.
Do you know what? It's a baby and lifestyle fair, and it is like one of the most extraordinary weekends. It's very like beautiful lifestyle products, baby, toddler. We're having the VIP night, which we're involved with, on the Friday, the 12th of August, which you can get tickets for. But it's myself, Kate Ritchie, Emma Isaacs. I believe Carrie Bickmore and Michelle Bridges will be there on the Saturday talking. It's just a really great night. The Friday night, though, is exclusive for adults, so you can have a champers or two and some canapes and wander around and shop.
Great.
Without the kids.
Great. That is a dream situation.
Yes. We're running a Cheeky Me competition where you come and get your selfie in the Cheeky Selfie wall and can win a $500 Cheeky voucher. Ooh. So it's just gonna be fun. You know?
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to be a part of a panel.
Yeah, we're going to be speaking about like a bit of our journeys and any questions anyone has, we'll answer. And
journey.
Remember the first journey? I want to say journey. The mothers group thing. Do you remember that first mothers group where we all look like death and you've got like circles and
I missed it for like 3 months because I didn't even leave the house. I didn't even know how to, I didn't know how to get out of the house.
I left the house without nappies and stuff, my first. I was like, oh, that's right. You have to take things now we have a baby. You can't just take your baby.
So many things.
I'm on no nappies now, are you?
Oh, no, I'm not.
It's so exciting. I never thought I'd be so excited, but it's a game changer.
It is. No, still in nappies. Nat Bass.
Thanks, Annie.
We've really just done this with our emotions today.
Maybe I'm premenstrual. Should I just go, cup of tea? No, it's been really lovely.
Thanks for being so honest and sharing with me your story, which is such a great story. We've all seen the journey and we've loved watching it.